Oh, here we
There
are.
we are.
Hey,
Hello.
we're here.
How are you?
Oh, yes, we're here.
So today is the 4th, and it's Alert Day.
Yeah, alert, yes.
So
I'm not alert.
I don't feel alert. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, I would, before you came, I thought maybe I'd just put my head down and take a nap.
Well, that'd been
It's
nice.
one of those nice days.
Maybe it'd been warmer outside though, huh? Could have gone out in the sun and sat there.
Well, the thing is, do you sleep well? Sometimes you sleep well. You ever have a dream that makes you feel like you've worked
Yes.
and you get up and you're still tired?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, man, I don't think I slept well. I had one of those the other day that I was teaching. I was chewing teachers out to get out of my classroom. I'm trying to teach.
Maybe that's a sign we're going to get our charter school.
Oh my goodness. It was like,
We've thrown so many things out because today is the Alert Day.
Yes,
so
was
be
it
prepared, everybody.
2-something, 2:20? Yes.
Which is supposed to last for like 30 minutes, they said.
Oh my.
It's a weird time.
Is it a special sound or are they just going to babble at us?
I don't know because
Speak in tongues?
as you asked me earlier, I don't know exactly what the purpose is.
They want to find out where you are.
Well, they know where we are. I mean,
pretty much.
I mean, they can pinpoint you and say something, or they can figure out where you are. I mean, pretty much anywhere.
Yeah, you don't get away with much.
I mean,
right.
Yes. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm not exactly sure what this is. I remember as a kid, the thing that would come on the screen.
Well, you would.
And it would sit there.
This
and then
is
it would,
a civil defense alert.
This is a test, only a test.
Yes.
If this was a real emergency, you'd be instructed where to go and stuff.
Seek shelter, duck and cover. You're probably too young to remember duck and cover.
Yeah, I don't remember duck and cover.
Oh, well, duck and cover. Like if an atom bomb dropped, duck and cover would
not going to help me.
The only thing that you would be the smudge on a wall.
And nobody would be here to find you anyway.
No, there'd be ashes and you'd be a shadow on the wall. But when that alert would go off, you would go out in the hallway away from glass because you don't want the glass windows to blow you.
Okay.
And you'd get down against the wall and you'd duck and cover. Literally.
Okay.
Like in a fetal position sitting on a wall, against the wall. Boy, that brings back.
I just remember, because I always wondered as a kid, well, what is this? And they said they would always tell you if there would be instructions, if anything would happen. Yeah. But I mean, I don't know.
That's what.
And when we lived overseas, because my dad was military, when we lived overseas, they had, what did they call them?
Civil defense drills?
Well, it was for the military bases and stuff, and all. They would have the drills, and the guys would have to put on the gas mask.
Oh, sure.
Of course, the civilians didn't have anything, but the guys had to because they were
military, yeah.
And I thought, we don't understand like what Israel and some of these foreign countries go through all the time when they're all the time being bombed, or all the time the threat of like, the
annihilation.
Anything. And
really.
So just our little tests and alerts really never really did anything. So I don't know exactly what today is supposed to do, but because I imagine if they wanted to find you or send you something, they could, but.
Oh, we get the Amber Alerts.
We do. So if you get an Amber Alert, then you should know that other things work.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we'd alert about storms sometimes, and that always goes off.
So, I mean, anyway, I'm not exactly sure about today. There are people that are going to be putting their phones in the microwave. Some people said that they're going to turn them off, but if you do turn them off, then supposedly, which I don't know if that's for sure or not, but that when you do turn it back on, it's going to go off. And like I said, it's supposed to be for like 30 minutes, I believe, but it's in 30-minute increments or whatever. They said that, I think it was it Germany did theirs yesterday? It might have been Russia.
Okay, so
it was either Germany or Russia. One of the foreign countries did theirs yesterday.
I'd like to know the reason for it. Are they planning on an alien invasion from outer space? And the whole world wants to be on alert? I mean, really?
I know. I mean,
they're going around the world.
It's something that you've got to, and if there's something that you have to notify the whole U.S. about, it's got to be pretty significant, right?
Yeah, and if Russia's done it in other countries,
I think it was Russia.
What
I
are
wanna say it
they,
was Russia.
what
Let
are
me
they,
see.
what are they doing? I mean, why?
I don't know, because like you said, if it's an atomic bomb or if it's the missile, what is it, the nuclear missile and
Right.
stuff, then you might as well you'll just have time to say, love you.
Yeah, goodbye.
I mean,
Hello.
because honestly, there's not going to be enough time to do anything.
No duck and cover.
No. You won't even get your favorite show in. I mean, there won't be any time to do anything. So the biggest thing that you'll be able to do then is just say, Jesus, I'm coming to see him. I mean, really.
Oh.
It's, but then on the other part of today is that here in the United States of America, we now have a vacancy.
Oh,
in
yes.
our
I mean,
House,
really.
As our House leadership.
I think that's.
And supposedly, I mean, 8 Republicans decided with the Democrats and ousted him.
I know. I mean.
And everybody has a different opinion about it.
My relatives, my aunt and uncle, I mean, they were straight line. You always voted this, no matter what, you voted that. But I gotta tell my daughter that I'm talking.
Well, so this all started back in January. I'm going to go ahead and give a little history
Yeah,
while you.
there we
So
go.
back in January,
You never have to dump a child there.
There was a lot of Republicans that did not want McCarthy.
They didn't want him. They didn't trust him.
No, and so I think it was like 15 days in, and they were still trying to vote to get a leader of the House. And finally, McCarthy got voted in, but with some promises that he would stick to
Those are the
eliminating.
little caveats that he added.
Because that was a part of what, like, the Freedom Caucus people, the Republicans wanted to make sure that he would stay the course of shrinking the debt, cut back on spending, secure the border wall. And then there was a few other things, but I know those were the biggies with the Republicans. That's
right.
What
yes.
I remember. And so supposedly he agreed to these things.
Well, that's what.
And he would not like just give in to the Democrats, on things like, because Republicans are known for not fighting.
And
they're not fighters.
No, it's like.
Democrats will unite and fight. I don't care if they're wrong or not. Democrats are going to unite and fight.
You said the exact same I was thinking, whether they're right or wrong.
Yeah, whether they're right or wrong, they're going to unite together and they're going to stand together.
You lie
it out. Exactly. Then they're going to fight it out amongst themselves and nobody's going to know it.
You lie and I'll attest to it. It's basically how they go. All right. But the Republicans are like, oh, okay.
No, we're going to infight and we're going to post it out there on Facebook and let everybody see. There's some people that'll fight privately and there's other people that fight on Facebook and you're like, really?
Really? Oh.
Okay, but so Republicans fight on Facebook and they let everybody know what's going on and what's doing. Supposedly it's in the name of transparency. So we appreciate the fact that they're trying to stand up and everything, but there comes a point, we are fighting the Democrats.
Don't give them the secrets, you idiots.
We're fighting the opposition. We can infight ourselves, but we do need to have some unity. So last night or yesterday, because of the way, so all this came about because of we've been fighting, they've been doing trying to debate and decide about what to do about the government shutdown. It was September 30th. And it came down to the wire that the government was going to be shut down, which my opinion was we need to hang a sign and say up for new ownership. Because it needs to be everybody up there needs to go home. They need to stop being paid. And it does need to have new ownership.
I agree completely. They live in a whole different world. They have different health plan. They think that they are royalty. Okay. And you mentioned one gentleman who was a Republican, voted with he doesn't consider himself royalty. He's doing it because of his belief system.
But now he will be considered, he will have sided with the Democrats. So I don't know where that'll put him. I listened to his speech last night that he gave right before, when they were standing up there and doing their thing about why to oust him and everything. But it'll be interesting because I know that a lot of people didn't like the way he was taking a stance because he was one of the ones that did not want to vote McCarthy in. He was a holdout.
That's right. I remember
So,
him being
and
interviewed for that.
He was being interviewed. People down here that had given him money were not happy because he was holding out because they felt like we needed. But if
Was he right though? Obviously, I think he was right in holding out.
Well, I was hoping that he would prove us wrong, but I didn't want McCarthy in there to start with.
I didn't either. And so the proof is in the pudding.
But I did not want a Democrat to step up either.
No.
And be the leader. And that could have happened in January. If they could not have gotten one of ours, then they would have found somebody. And I didn't want that either.
So this McCarthy then did not keep his promises.
No, because now instead of voting on the budget and everything, what they've done is they've extended it. So they've extended it to November 17th. So all they've done is kick the can down the road. Delayed. And they'll spend, and now the problem is we have no speaker, so nothing can get done. So in that time that we should be deciding, they're going to take a whole week now, they said.
Next week. Yep, next
they're
week.
Supposed to vote. But if they can't do any better than what they did in January,
then it'll
be the end of October.
Then they're fools.
And they're all, like I said, hang the sign and say closed for business. Because
how about
we just need it.
Help wanted.
Good help though.
Exactly. Good, honest, hardworking help.
I mean,
we'll work for food.
I mean, and see, technically, I do feel for some of the ones that wouldn't. The government has shut down in my lifetime, and I didn't even know it. It is shut down in my adulthood, and I did know it. But everybody, once they go back to work, then they get the back pay. But they usually lay off or they send home the non-essentials.
Sure, all the museums get closed.
Museums, state parks.
Everything gets closed, yep.
Some offices go on skeleton.
I wonder about the transit, like the metro and stuff like that. I don't know.
Well, there are some things that go skeleton.
Yeah.
And so, it really makes you, because, I know myself during this past year, I have been looking at everything in our budget streamlining because of the way costs are rising.
So expensive.
So why can't the government do that? I don't need to. Remember we did this back in the spring. We did all the extra fluff that they spend money on.
That's right.
And now
that was so funny. Remember all those,
it's like the stupid
shrimps on it.
But remember the garage that they built that they had to tear down because it wasn't correct.
The whole parking garage that spent millions to put up and more to tear down.
It's broken.
Yeah, because it didn't work.
And we still don't have a thing at the border. We still, and I, I've been hearing these arguments, and I'm going to let you talk. I know.
No.
It's just such a pet peeve of mine.
No, because
now you're getting down to the 17th of November, and you know what all they like to do is they're going to want to go home for the holidays.
Well, Thanksgiving's here.
And then it's going to be Christmas.
We'll take a 6-week break.
I mean, you're not going to get anything done. And my thing is they should have been the ones sent home not paid, have their insurance taken away, have everything taken away because they've not done their job, any of them, since they've been up there.
No.
And it just plucks my last nerve. I do have mixed emotions about everything because it does, when 8 people can control a Republican held House because they sided with the Democrats. Where does that put us in America? Because the Democrats wanted him out because they would love to get somebody of their own in.
Well, sure.
And then the first thing that the interim person did was made Nancy Pelosi move out of her little office.
That she had private office.
That she was supposed to have moved out a long time ago, but she had this
my husband told me
closet.
That. My husband said that. I said, well, finally.
Well, I mean, they would have made us move out. I don't have any qualms with that. She needed to go.
Who are you? You're not, again, they think they're royalty.
But Republicans never have a message.
Well,
they don't have
unity. What is
message.
Their rubrics? What are their objectives? What is it that you really want? Now you have the Republican code and what you stand for and all that, but do all of them stand for that?
I don't know, because to me, some of them, if you read what we read at the meetings, then if you're not abiding by this, then you need
really
your
are.
card back. You need your card, and you need to not sign up as a Republican.
Yes, you really are not.
And a lot of them are rhinos. So, I mean, which means Republican in name only.
That's right.
And so, this is a time when we had the House as a majority. I know we do not have the Senate.
Right.
But the one time you got the House, even with a Democratic president and a Democratic Senate, and this...
They can't get their act together.
Well, they can't get their act, no. And I mean, I've even asked people now, like, so what are people running on? What is the message? What do I tell people? And sometimes the Republicans look at me and they're like, well, that's a really good question. I'm like, we want to win. We want to beat the Democrats. But the Democrats have a message.
Oh, they do. And we all suffer from that message because we are living that message.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Because they are able to, we're like little puppets.
Articulate. Yes, they articulate.
We're little puppets and they pull our little strings and they do this and they do that. And basically they're taking our constitutional rights away from us.
They want to redo the Constitution.
They want to redo it, and we won't look the same.
Mm-mm.
And it's horrible because your rights are going down the drain.
But crime is up, prices are up, our credit rating across the world is down, the dollar is down. We do not have the stance in the as far as like strength with our army and our military like we did. Nobody's looking and calling our president for advice. Yeah.
Would you?
He might not even realize what day it is.
I saw a podcast the other day, and it was former President Trump was sort of joking about this and how our President Biden couldn't find the stairs for the stage.
Well, I heard somebody say the other day that President Trump had mixed up some of his words, and I'm thinking, as many speeches as like Trump gives and different things, if you mix up a word or so, that doesn't bother me. But I mean, it's like a daily thing with Biden. I mean, he'll pause in mid-sentence. It's just
if you want a comedic interlude, you just find a video of something.
And then it's so funny too because he's constantly pulling back from his past on things he never did. Exactly. When I was a kid, my dad didn't. No, he didn't. When I did this, and he never taught at some of the places, but he just pulls these stories out of the air.
Like that he was there in New York at 9/11. He wasn't.
No, he wasn't. Mm-mm. No.
And again, does he believe this? Or is it he's incapable of figuring out the truth? I watch Sky News sometimes out of Australia or any of it.
Fun one.
They're
they
so
laugh
they
at
they
us all the time.
they put those on and it's like, oh, this is funny.
It's like their humor for the day. It's like, now let's go see what is
Let's go see where is he, and it's like, where's Waldo?
Exactly. So I didn't know if I was the only one watching that, but I like to watch what the other people in other countries are saying about us, and I get to laughing at them.
That is their comedic break. They will focus on where Biden is at the time.
Sometimes they even pull the ladies up from The View, and they'll pull them up and they'll laugh at them because they're like, these women are stupid. They don't use the word stupid, but they're like, but it's basically stupid. And it's like, yeah, this is our representation.
It's like, and now we will have our comedy venue for the day.
Well, like the guy that pulled the, that's been making me laugh. The guy that pulled the emergency, the fire alarm.
No, I didn't see that.
You didn't see that? He's one of the guys, he's one of the House of Representatives, and he was supposed to be going in for a vote. Well, he pulls the fire alarm. So
that's an offense.
Well, and instead of, because the thought is he did it to maybe postpone the vote. This was over the weekend or whatever, but it didn't work out that way. And then because now everybody's seen that he pulled it, he said he thought he was trying to open the door. And he was a principal of a high school.
They do look they do look different, They're
red. And it's usually up on the wall.
Yes, it's like normally if you do that and There's a door attached to it. Where is he a principal of that school?
He was a principal. Where was he? I have to look that one up. But yeah, he's been in the news. People have been laughing at that too. And I'm like, yeah, there's so many things that we do that. I mean, right now it is comic relief for other countries because they're like, look over here in America. You think it's bad over here? Let's look over here. Look, he can't get up the steps.
He can't find the stage.
And then you have the other McConnell, and he pauses in mid-speech and everything too. Sometimes they just need a hook and drag them, and I mean, it's just crazy. It's crazy.
President Trump was funny. He said, a stage. You look at there's steps to the right and steps to the left, and you can't find them. Turn around. Where are the steps? How do I leave? I'm just thinking, just jump off the end. I mean, it can't be too far.
Well, I know they picked on Trump one time because I think the step must have been slick or something. It was up there. What is the place in New York where all the cadets go to?
Annapolis?
Mm-hmm.
There's an Annapolis.
It's Annapolis, but I was thinking this one
West Point.
West Point. And I think it was either slick or, something happened. Anyway, he kind of slid. And they were making fun of him like that. And I'm thinking, that ain't nothing compared to what I mean, like I said, this one sometimes like, what do I say now?
and what comes out is like,
it was gibberish. I know, it's gibberish.
Talking about what was it the other day that was a very simple word, and he just, well, you know what I mean, or whatever, and I'm like, okay, that doesn't make any sense.
Well, he was talking, one of the things that I saw recently, or a couple months ago, I shouldn't say recent, but I mean, he was talking about how one day, we're going to have all these trains going across the country and all this stuff, and I'm like, okay, thought we did.
I was going to say, have you ever seen that movie, that series, Hell on Wheels? I think it's been around for a while. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's right. You didn't go to Ohio and see the train that derailed. That's right. That's probably why you didn't realize there's
no trains yet. I mean, I've been across country on the train twice.
Yeah, well, I've been across the country on a bus and haven't been across on the train yet. But
it's a lot of fun. It is. It's really fun.
But life in America right now is just a hoot. I mean, you just don't know what you're going to get next. So, right, like I said, right
look
now,
to the right, look to the left,
going on except them trying to figure out who's going to be the next leader.
See, I think when they got handed out brains, they weren't quite sure what they were. And says, "Oh, are you giving free trains? I want one that goes toot toot, chugga 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 toot toot chugga 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 chugga."
So if we've made you mad, or if I have made you mad by saying any of these things,
oh well.
Yeah,
I'm just voicing because I'm saying, oh well.
Because this is stuff that you need to be aware of. You need to be a part of all of this. You need to understand what is happening and what is being said and done. And, right now, I mean, I don't know I know nobody really wants the Democrats back in, but they're all just going, I guess I'll vote for this one because I don't know what to vote for.
It all boils down to truth and honesty.
It does.
Really, it really does. Do you have truth, honesty, integrity? Can you stand on principles that are worthwhile and forthright and non-greedy? We did podcast about that before, about greed, what drives everybody. And if you look at these people, a lot of it is just greed.
Yeah, because they want to keep their positions.
They want to keep their positions. They want to get this. They want to get their pension paid forever if they've served it. How many terms? 1, 2?
Well, I'm sure McCarthy got a really nice salary for being the speaker. So now he can go ahead and he can get back his gavel and he'll probably live out life. I mean, he'll probably still be a part of the House, I reckon. But I mean, he'll just live out life where he's at.
So I don't know, and I probably do know about you and the two of us, that I don't think I could sleep well being that type of person. The banshees are yelling back here.
There's meetings going on in the building, so if you hear extra noise.
They're healthcare professionals, so
They're having, woohoo, they're getting there.
they're finally saying, yeah, we're out. But
Anyway, so today that was my little bit of venting, I reckon, of what's going on. So, but I mean, it's just a lot going on in the last 24 hours, which I'm sitting back and I'm trying not to really get ticked, but it just aggravates the mess out of me because they want us to go then now to the poll in November and vote. It's like, really?
Yeah.
I mean, and like I said, it's almost like the lesser of the two evils, but
What? I don't know. It's like sin and sinner.
But y'all keep on trucking. Look
Yes.
this stuff up yourself and be prepared.
Be alert.
Be alert. And when you get that loud noise today, don't be
You'll
scared.
be alert. That's right. That's right.
Talk to you later.